What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Chase, aka CR Media, and I'm back for round two of today. But I'm back with a new face. This is my good friend Scott. We are here for the AEW Dynamite post show. Been a little bit, been trying some new things, and been real busy with some family stuff. But it's nice to be back in the swing of things. Scott, how are you, sir?
I'm wonderful, my friend.
Good. Appreciate everybody joining with us tonight. No matter where you're watching us, whether you're watching us on Sports Empire Networks, Facebook, and YouTube, or you're watching us on CR Media's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, or you're watching on Scott's Facebook and Twitch. No matter where you are, make sure you hit the like button, the share button, and if you're not already, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never ever miss anything. Speaking of bells,
did you just press the bell? Did you just press the bell?
No, it's my notification. It's my notification.
That was perfect timing.
Already got a few people up here in the chat. Stephen Chambers says, "What's up, Chase and Scott?" Appreciate Stephen coming through. Hunter Dillon says, "Look at these two handsome faces. Back at it." Yes. For those that don't know, I debuted One Arrowhead Drive tonight where we talked about the Kansas City Chiefs. That was earlier today. Me and my good friend Ty, who are big, huge Kansas City Chiefs fans, broke down the end of the season last year. We're going into the NFL draft. So if you didn't catch that, make sure you go back on Sports Empire Network or on my page and catch the replay of that. But that is that. And we are talking about AEW Dynamite tonight. Just in case you guys forgot how this goes, this is real viewer friendly, viewer oriented. What's going on, buddy? He's trying to juggle between two streams, so I might miss some shit. No worries, Kai. Go hang out in that stream. If you're here and you haven't been here in a while, let's refresh everybody. We break down AEW Dynamite. At the end of breaking down AEW Dynamite, what we do is we share the link and invite you guys on to come watch. Or not come watch, but to come tell us what you liked and what you didn't like. So it's a little bit different than a lot of other post shows you'll see online, and we like it that way, don't we, Scott?
We sure do. It makes it a bit more interactive, a bit more fun. Excuse me, and brings that viewer experience to a new level.
Absolutely. So speaking of viewer experience, guys, if you Scott, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on social media, my friend?
So you can find me on Twitch. You can find me on TikTok at RazDarkWolf on both. I've been posting a lot more on both, especially with doing bad booking the past few weeks. It's been pretty good. That's the majority of where you'll find me.
Yeah. Now, if I remember correctly, you announced you've got some merch for sale, right?
That is correct. Up on TeePublic, I have some merch available that you can find over on my TeePublic store, wherever the hell that is. That is RazDarkWolf on TeePublic. Give me 2 seconds.
Grab the link for that, brother. And
looks like Chase crashed out, and I'm left here by myself. Well, this is fantastic. Did not expect that. Hope everyone is okay.
Chase is dead.
What happened there?
That infamous button on my mouse, I hit it. So while you're doing that real quick, I just wanted to let everybody know that Scott, was it your link tree?
No, I don't have a link tree.
You don't have a link tree?
Okay. No.
Well, give me that Teespring link, and we'll start adding it into the description. But guys, the description of the video will have my link tree. It will have Sports Empire Network's link tree, and Sports Empire Network's merch. So all that stuff. Make sure you go check that out.
Yep, I've just linked it in the chat, and I've also sent it to you in the private chat as well. So.
Boom, look at that. tpublic.com/user/RazDarkWolf, guys. Go get you some Raz. Go get you some Raz merch.
There is some amazing stuff that's been done by members of the Discord there. So
that's awesome.
Yep, as Hunter said, there's a Sale of the Century inspired edition that he created.
There
I
you
really
go.
appreciate him for that.
Yes.
And there's one that our good friend Kai created as well. So
now let everybody know, what is the Sale of the Century?
So Sale of the Century is a game show that was held in Australia for about 21 years. It's the longest running game show that we ever had. And it's basically a trivia style game show who survive, like they go through rounds, and it's a game show essentially. It's kind of like The Chase, but with multiple episodes, and yeah.
Nice. So for those who don't know, Hunter is our residential game show guy. And Hunter, so Hunter has a lot of those history lessons, if you will, on old game shows and whatnot. So much love to Hunter for hooking Raz up for those. And if you can, go check out Raz's Teespring and pick you up a shirt. Let's get into AEW Dynamite. We started off with another 15-minute promo with the Pillars.
You know, I usually shit on the 15-20 minute promos, but today this wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. It
wasn't either. I brought that up just because, like you said, I know there's a lot of people who don't, are like, man, like it does seem like every single time the four of them get in the ring, or three, whatever, however you want to say it, they do tend to take a little bit longer on those promos, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's very interesting. So we'll I thought it started off really good. Not how, and when I say started off really good, I thought it was very entertaining. Thought it started off really good, but it just wasn't how I thought it would have ended.
No.
And I think a lot of people thought that. I think a lot of people thought that we were going to get a fatal four-way at All Out or Double or Nothing. And it didn't look like it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
No, it looks like they've changed their mind and decided to go for a singles match at the pay-per-view instead. I mean, I guess we could see some working way around it so it ends up being a fatal four-way, especially after the shenanigans of the main event tonight, which we'll get into. But who knows? We'll go from there.
Yeah. I thought when MJF came out, I thought we were going to get at least another 5 minutes. We didn't. Like I said, this went 15 minutes. And I don't mind it, but I know that sometimes can drag out a little bit. So this isn't a 3-hour show, it's a 2-hour show. So 20, 30-minute promos have no business taking up part of that show. So the next match, we get Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker against Ruby Soho and Toni Storm.
Solid match. And of course, Britt Baker is well over in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Like, there was no doubt about that. And there was no doubt about that she was going to get the win in that match.
I agree. Well, before we continue on, what would you grade the show overall?
I'd probably put it about 6.5 to a 7. I wouldn't give it like a super rating because it just it wasn't huge. Like, it wasn't a super massive show, but it was a good show for what it was. And it was
Stephen
definitely
Chambers.
fun.
Stephen Chambers liked it. Dean Houston, we appreciate you joining.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely. After the match, Renee Paquette was backstage with Wardlow, who introduced his manager for the night.
Yeah.
Old Double A. So
do you think we're getting a possible 4 horsemen coming to AEW?
yeah, I think I think that ship sailed. Number one, I don't think that they'll ever call it the Four Horsemen. And I wish that we would stop doing that. And
the trope of it.
Yeah. The editorials, the writers and stuff would stop calling it that. I don't know how, much you were into it, but back then when before Evolution was formed, they were like, oh, Triple H is going to form a new Four Horsemen. It wasn't the Four Horsemen. It was Evolution. Randy Orton was supposed to form a formation of the Four Horsemen.
It's a common trope that gets trudged out every time.
The pinnacle was supposed to be the Four Horsemen. Every single time there's a group of 4 more guys getting together that have some form of connection to the old Horsemen. Everybody's always like, oh, they're gonna do the Four Horsemen. Hunter's right. Fortune in TNA. Yeah. Main Event Mafia. Well, I don't know about Main Event Mafia, but
Main Event Mafia was more like based off the New Blood Millionaires Club from WCW days.
But like I said, anytime you take a Horseman member who's going to somehow align himself or associate himself with some of the newer talent, everybody's always like, oh, they're gonna form the new Horsemen, and it's like, no, they're not.
You can't bring the Four Horsemen back. That legacy exists, and there's no recreating what they had in that time period. The Horsemen for that time period was exactly what needed to be.
Yep.
It's like when they tried to create the New Rockers in WWF. Exactly. Failed miserably.
Yep.
Failed miserably.
That is correct.
Gears of Kai is right. Aces and Eights was more so NWO style.
Yeah.
They try to recreate the formula to capture the magic of the time, but it doesn't capture that magic because we've seen it before.
Yeah. The next segment is the Elite come out, and they are going to address the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yep.
This got off the rails pretty quick. I was very confused that they had Takeshita come out.
Yeah. I know that
I thought that spot should have been reserved for Hangman.
I thought so too, but I believe it's because Hangman's contract is almost up and they're currently in negotiations with him. So I know that previously we had Takeshita with Don Callis trying to recruit him and stuff like that. So I understand that was put in there for that reason. But you're right. I thought it should have been Hangman.
Yeah. I was very confused about that. It's better to just do something new. You never want to always be compared to something timeless, or you'll never succeed. Exactly. Let's take Dolph Ziggler for example. Dolph has tried to copy, if you will, or rejuvenate Shawn Michaels, and it hasn't worked out for him. So
No.
But yeah, the
BCC end up coming out.
yes, of course. And we talked about that. I mean, like I said, it ended up with Takeshita. Coming out to help the Elite.
I think it's good that Takeshita's getting put on screen.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to suit being in the Elite side of things, and it'll take away from where his future potential, I guess.
Absolutely.
And good evening, Herb. Welcome to the show.
Absolutely. Good evening to Herb Simmons and SICW Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling. They will be hosting Fan Fest on May 13th, where your boys, the I-70 Hot Tag, will be, along with a plethora of legends and great talent, which brings me
including tomorrow night's guest for the I-70 Hot
which
Tag.
brings me to my ad, if you will. It's not going to be like your normal advertisement, but what I will say is tomorrow, on the 1-year anniversary of the I-70 Hot Tag. It's crazy to think that we've been doing this for a year. But we are going to be interviewing Buff Bagwell live in preparation for SICW Fan Fest on May 13th in St. Louis, Missouri. We are very excited. Plus, we will be announcing a huge giveaway. And I don't know if you can tell by the picture. I have spoiled it for some people. I have no problem spoiling it again. We will be giving away a championship belt.
Yes,
we will not be giving away the championship belt tomorrow. We will announce how to enter the giveaway tomorrow, starting tomorrow.
And just so people know, it's not the one that's sitting behind Chase's head.
Absolutely not. This one has, brother, I thought I almost had everybody's signature. I'm still missing quite a few people, but dude, that thing is almost full, which
you're going to need another one.
I know. I'm going to have to get another one commissioned.
Yeah.
But yes, if Hunter is entering the giveaway, he wants to replace the toy spinner belt he carries. Absolutely.
Definitely. Definitely jump on board. If you're here tonight, jump on board for tomorrow. Get all the info you can in regards to that giveaway, because it is amazing.
Yes. I have shown Scott the prize, the giveaway, and he is and he can attest that it's very nice. It's very nice.
I'm just sad I'm not eligible. I'm sad I'm not eligible.
Yeah.
It sucks.
You could be. You could
no,
be.
I'm not. I'm not. I work a show with you. I'm not eligible.
All right. That's fair. That's fair. I like that. Josh did the same thing. When I told Josh, I was like, I think we're going to give this away. And Josh goes, oh, he was like, can the co-host win it? And I was like, No. But I told Josh, I said, I told him that when I brought the belt to CSW, the last CSW event, because the CSW crowd got to see it first.
Of course.
And so when I brought that belt to CSW, I told Josh before I walked in the building, I said, hey, brother, give me XYZ amount of money and it's yours. And he was like, it's very tempting, but no. He's like, we should do the giveaway. And I was like, I agree. So
stay tuned for that tomorrow.
Yeah, stay tuned for that
tomorrow on the I-70 Hot Tag, right here on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere you'll find CR Media. That's where you'll find that giveaway. That is right. Yeah, we don't want people screaming rigged. Good move on Josh's part. So Wardlow went to go face Powerhouse Hobbs. He's got Arn Anderson with him at ringside. Did not expect the match to go as long as it did.
Didn't expect the match to go as long as it did, and I did not expect there to be a title change.
No,
it's crazy. I like it. I don't.
Yeah, I'm happy that they did it because it might continue this feud with him and Powerhouse Hobbs, but it's also that hot potato of the title.
Yeah, and let's talk about that. This hot potato thing I think that this hot potato conversation of the championship has started because of another company's really long, lengthy title runs. I don't, at the end of the day, when you go back and look, Scott, 10 years from now, are you going to remember in 2022 and 2023 that AEW played hot potato with the TNT championship?
Probably not.
Okay.
More than likely not. And if we're still doing this show,
but are you going to remember? But are you going to remember the great matches that they had for the TNT championship?
Oh, for sure.
Like Cody versus Darby or Cody versus Sammy.
Brody.
Cody versus Brody, Cody versus Sammy Guevara in that ladder match.
Yep.
You're going to remember those matches. You're not going to remember that they played hot potato with it. And it's just, it's silly to me that people are like, oh, I don't like how they do this and this and this. Because like I said, as of right now, or at least in the past 5 years, we have been conditioned to, we've been conditioned for these long title reigns, if you will. And it's not just WWE's title, but I mean, like the Intercontinental Championship or whatever the case is. And it's just like, I'm not
Impact
interested
did
in
it
that.
for a while. Impact did quite a long title reign on their champions. So you're right. It's not just a WWE based thing. And I get long title reigns and I also get short title reigns. Sometimes you need a short title reign to further the story. And
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the potentials that this has. In the next segment of this show, we actually, after Wardlow actually wins, I think we're getting the next challenger, Lucha Kane.
So Steven Chambers brings up something really good here. He says, having flashbacks to Arn doing the DDT, I was highly disappointed that Arn didn't do a spine buster because, man, and I know Arn probably it might be a little bit out of Arn's realm to do the spine buster. Maybe, I don't know. But man, and I know it was 20 years ago now. Jesus, I can't believe I said that.
Don't, now you're making me feel old, man.
I know, right?
These gray hairs were just that until you mentioned that.
But I remember watching WrestleMania 18 and watching Flair versus Taker, and I'll never forget. And I've watched it recently, and I'm still highly impressed with it because Arn was retired for 5-6 years at the time. Yeah, and he just did a picture perfect spine buster on Taker. And like tonight when he rolled in the ring, I was like, oh boy, we're about to see an Arn spine buster, spine on the pine, baby. And then he did a DDT, and I was like,
it felt a bit flat, but it was also good for what it was. And this is the one thing that constantly we bring up about AEW. They know how to use their legends to further the stories. They don't just use them to come in and win a title belt.
Absolutely.
They use their legends well. They use them for specific purposes, and they keep them there for that purpose only.
Yeah. So we got an interview with Sammy Guevara, and MJF gave him a
blank check,
and he wrote his price on it, and reluctantly MJF obliged. I thought we were gonna get a lot more out of that, and we'll get to that. I don't want to skip over it, but I thought we were going to get a lot more out of that. Maybe we still do. I don't know, but
I think
I was very disappointed. I felt like that fell really flat.
If I'm going into future booking mode, I think we get the swerve next week, or we get the bullshit finish next week.
Yep.
and we get the main event of Sammy and MJF at the pay-per-view, but Sammy doesn't play ball.
Yep.
I think we get that. But I also can see how we're going to potentially get a fatal four-way anyway. So, yeah.
The next match we got was Jay White versus Commander. I thought this was really good.
Man, putting those two together was just an absolute dream.
Yep.
You cannot deny that.
No, it was a great match. I thought it was very well put together as well, like you said.
Yeah.
I do want
You cannot deny that putting Jay White and Commander together was a great pairing.
Yes, I do want to put on my booking hat and say I think that match should have ended the show.
Oh, definitely. I think it had more main event than the main event. Like, it had more of a main event feel to it than the main event actually had. But I understand its spot on the show. I understand them not wanting to put Jay White straight to the main event to give him that chance to grow.
Yeah, so just to dial it back, I'll be honest with you, Scott. I would have put any match in the main event other than that one.
Yeah,
and we'll get to that. Don't want to jump ahead.
No, fair. That's fair. I can see your point on that. Definitely.
Well, Sean Spears sighting after the match.
Yeah, Sean Spears being back.
Yeah,
he wrestled. What was it? Jungle Boy on Rampage just the other week, and now he's back on the show.
Yeah,
and getting attacked by Bullet Club.
Yeah,
Bullet Club Gold, I should say.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw Finley's post or Finley's interview, but Finley made it very clear that they are not Bullet Club.
I think we're leading into Forbidden Door with that.
I think we are too.
I think we're leading to Jay White's Bullet Club Gold versus Finley's Bullet Club.
Yep.
I hate it. I don't hate it.
No, absolutely not. Especially if we get it at Forbidden Door and it trickles into All In.
Yeah. As Steven said, I called it on Discord. I think Spears might end up joining the Bullet Club Gold.
You think so?
I think they'll play around with that. He's going to feud with them for a little bit, but I think he might end up joining Bullet Club Gold.
Yep. Yeah. No, I agree. Battle of the Bullet Club at Forbidden Door, and I think that I think that you don't let it end at Forbidden Door. I think you either up the ante or push it forward to.
And it's a great way to bring Guerrillas of Destiny in as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Because they're a team that need to be in the US. They're a team that need to showcase themselves in the US.
Agreed.
GOD has been one of those teams that is very, very highly underrated.
Yep.
Yes, they've been champions in the company that they work for, but they need that showcasing in the US.
What is this hoopla with FTR and Jarrett and Sanjay and Jay Lethal?
You know, you're going to hate me here, but I found that absolutely hilarious. I found that whole segment hilarious.
It was all right. I'm still not sure about, what?
It had to do with Mark Briscoe, and it was hilarious.
Yeah,
I loved it. I think you were in the Discord. No, wasn't in the Discord. It was on Bad Booking. I said that Mark Briscoe, a lot of his booking has been up till now sympathy booking, but I think one thing I would like to see is him and Satnam Singh in a tag team. Because those two together would be absolutely insane.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I get to shoot that down really quick because Mark has said that he will never be a tag team wrestler again. So
I know, unfortunately, but it would be one of those things that would work amazingly. It would work so well because of Satnam being the Indian guy and Mark being that redneck, that pure redneck, and it would work as a comedy team.
I can see it.
Like, could you imagine Satnam Singh sitting on the farm trying to drink moonshine?
Imagine he's a lightweight, because you would think like a big huge dude like that could put away some liquor, but then that would be funny. Nope. he has like half a shot. He has like half a shot of moonshine, and then he's passed out drunk.
Yep.
The next we get Chris Jericho and Adam Cole face to face. And this went about the way I expected it to. Although
I had very Judgment Day vibes on this towards
I did too.
The end of that segment.
Yeah.
I had very much Judgment Day vibes on this, and I was like, it's good, but this is very much, and that would be amazing.
I think.
Thank you, Steven. Thank you.
I think you've won somebody over with it. But yeah, man, I thought the promo between the two was really, really good. And then the beatdown ensued, and then I got Judgment Day vibes from it. It feels like it was so close, but it wasn't. Yeah. It feels like it wasn't that far away, so I guess that's why I was kind of a little hypocritical of it.
Don't get me wrong; this feud is going to put Adam Cole over the top. With Jericho being the guy he beats, it is going to put Adam Cole through the roof.
Yeah. The Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens, Max Caster, and Billy Gunn took on Matt Menard, Angela Parker, and Jake Hager.
That's the end of that feud.
We can hope so.
I mean, it had potential, but it now just needs to go away and let both teams go their separate ways.
Yeah, which is crazy because this match was supposed to be where if the Acclaim lost, they had to join the JAS, which I don't remember that being announced at all.
I think it was announced on Rampage.
So, and then here's what's funny is I feel like they didn't advertise it tonight at all.
No,
because I've said it 100 times. I don't watch Rampage, and if I do watch Rampage, I fast forward through the majority of it. Until Rampage starts putting on better shows, I'm not watching. And they haven't done one of those in a while. So
some of it's been good. It's just very. They use the second rate, not even second rate talent. It's just they don't use the talent that's the main draws.
I don't mind that. It feels so. An hour is too short for me. So if you want to keep me going, you got to give me 2 hours. Because an hour for pre-recorded matches, I'm just not excited about, and I'm not turning on the TV at 9:00 on a Friday night to watch it. So I watched the DVR. I watched it on the DVR version, and I'll watch it, quickly. Yeah. So
I agree with Stephen on this one. Vinkingo versus Dralistico or whatever the
when I go back and watch it, because sometimes I'll watch like 2 or 3 weeks worth of rampages together. So when I go back and watch that rampage, I'll probably stop and watch that match.
That was a damn good match. Like it was definitely a good match.
Yeah.
And yeah, put the 6-man tag match on Rampage instead would have been a better blow off for it.
Yeah. And it feels like every single week there's a match that is majority through the commercial break.
Yeah. Unfortunately, and this is the hard part because a lot of it is commercial break for you, but not on Fight and not on not on Fight over here. I still see the full match. So yeah.
But it's just crazy to me. So like part of me wonders if they announced that this was the match where, you know, if the Acclaim lost, they had to join the JAS, if they announced it during the commercial break, because it's like,
I think it possibly did happen that way. I don't remember.
Which makes sense. Which makes a lot of sense. I'm being sarcastic. It doesn't make any sense at all. But,
it makes sense if you're watching the Fight feed, but not if you're watching live on, not even live, but pre-recorded on TV.
So let's
you'd save that segment for when you're actually on the TV.
Yeah. Let's get to this crazy main event that was highly disappointing.
Look, it was a first-time match. Some good spots, but could have been so much better.
Yeah, and that's fine. I get it. I get it. We have to tell a story. You know, every match can't be great. Every match on AEW can't be a good to great match. And I get that. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm asking you why you ended the show in the main event, the draw, the reason why people bought the tickets, the reason why people stayed to the very end. I'm asking why you decided to make it end in a count out. If you were going to put that match on, if you were going to put that match on in the main event, you were going to tell people like, hey, this match is going to help decide who faces MJF at Double or Nothing, and you let it end in a count out. That's weird to me. That's so weird.
As I said, I think,
and if the E did it, we would
shit all over it.
Yeah, we would shit all over it. So I'm going to shit all over this because this is ridiculous.
If the E did it, we would be here going, why the fuck did they do that? Why did it end in such a shitty way? And that is typical WWE.
Yeah. So I've bought a ticket. I've bought a ticket to an AEW event in Kansas City in a venue that doesn't even hold that maybe holds 5,000 people. I don't know. I have no idea how much this venue holds. I don't want to sound like an idiot, so let's do this. Independence Events Center. I think it's called something else now, and it's probably gonna make me. Yep. So the Cable Dama Arena is what it's called, and it's a hockey arena. So it seats capacity 5,800.
Okay.
And so in a wrestling event, you've got floor seats. So maybe add a couple hundred there, so 6,000 people
at least.
And that's where they had Dynamite at when Josh and I went to Dynamite recently.
Yeah.
Those tickets, not floor seats, are $100. If I paid $100+ to go see an event and your main event ends in a count out, a disqualification, I'm not leaving happy.
Especially on a TV show.
Yeah.
If it's a pay-per-view, different story. Like if it's a pay-per-view, you're cracking the shits but you know that the story's continuing.
No. Pay-per-view is worse, my guy. Pay-per-view is worse.
But
because you're gonna pay double, like that $100 for a Dynamite or Monday Night Raw or SmackDown seat is now a $200 or $300 seat.
But at the same time, you're also getting a continued story because look at WrestleMania.
I'm not.
WrestleMania.
Okay, I went to WrestleMania and they finished the match, Scott.
Yeah,
they waged war. They waged war for 20 minutes, and Cody lost.
It could have ended in a DQ.
But if it ended in a DQ, I'd have rioted. I paid a lot of money for that seat, but I mean,
I can imagine you jumping the barricade and just being like, "Fuck you!"
Yeah, no, I'd have burned SoFi Stadium to the ground. Like, are you kidding?
You would have been the chicken.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly.
You would have been Cody's chicken.
Hey, I'd have told like 10 dudes, like, throw me in the ring. I'm going. No, man, like that's silly to me. Like, we as fans pay good money to go see shows, and for you to give us a shit finish like that, that's ridiculous. That's why if they'd have put the match at the beginning of the show or even in the middle of the show, I wouldn't be as upset about it. But
because you could continue, I guess, if you put it in the middle of the show, you could continue the story until the end of the show. And you could go, okay, Jungle Boy comes out and goes, basically, fuck you, Max. You screwed me. I've gone to Tony. I want my chance next week on Dynamite.
Yeah, or I mean, that still can't happen. You still can tell a story with it.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is the main event to end the night, you send the fans home happy. You always send the fans home happy. And doing a stupid count out finish like that or a DQ finish is absolutely, like, I can make an argument for the Iron Man match or the time limit draw matches, like those were great, fantastic matches. And they went the distance. This is just a stupid finish. And it's like, I want a winner.
I think we're looking at, as I said, I think we're looking at that fact of we're going to get the Fatal 4-Way no matter what.
I think that's the right call. I think we should get the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is yes, the match was good. I just didn't like the way the match ended, and I don't think the main event should ever end that way.
Kai brought it up in the Discord during the watch along, and he was saying it looks like, unfortunately, Darby's going to be the one to win the whole thing and go through to the match. But as I said earlier, I think we're going to get possibly Sammy coming in, winning it all, getting to the main event, and then not playing ball with MJF.
Well, I hope neither one of those happen. I hope that what happens is that something, and then they announce that it's a Fatal 4-Way. That's what I hope.
I'm sure that we'll get it. They'll figure it out, hopefully.
Yeah.
I think Tony needs to start putting his head together and working with a team of people, not just himself, to book it. I get why he wants to book it himself, because he wants to feel like he's responsible for it, but he also needs to let someone come in and go,
did you die?
No, I'm here.
Okay, you cut out for a second, so that's why I asked if you died.
I'm sorry.
But did you die?
Not as far as I know. I'm looking a bit glitchy though.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna post this in here. This is for anybody that wants to join the stream. All people are welcome to come. I put it in there. Did I put it in the private chat? Yes, I did.
As long as you got a camera.
Yep. As long as you got a camera, we invite everybody and anybody. However, if we're going to give it about 2 minutes, if not, we're going to break down this Rampage and Dynamite card and close out. Now, since we got some time to spare, I figured now would be a really good time to
run a promotion for the I-70 hot tag.
No, we did that at the beginning, but
I know,
I do
but
want to.
let's run it back. We can run a promotion for the I-70 hot tag. Make sure you're here tomorrow with Chase and Josh for the I-70 hot tag to hear from the one and only Buff the Stuff Bagwell.
Bagwell, there it is. The anniversary show, 1 year, guys. We've had a blast. We're going to continue to keep going. We got a lot of huge things coming up. And what's crazy is I'm looking here at Buff Bagwell, and this isn't even the biggest thing we got coming up soon. So, it's crazy. We've got a show we're hosting this weekend that's going to be absolutely amazing. That's going to be extremely interesting. I highly suggest following the I-70 hot tag and CR media on all forms of social media, because we're going to be posting clips of this weekend that where you've got something brewing. Like I said, it's going to be fun.
Make sure you're following Chase and CR media for everything in regards to Kansas and Missouri wrestling and all the upcoming stuff that they're going through. It's going to be huge.
Absolutely. And then
I know that that's a cliche to say, because people are like, oh, big announcement coming. But no, these things are really big.
That's right.
We appreciate every single person that gets involved.
Absolutely. Also, want to give a huge shout out to SeatGeek, SeatGeek.com, guys. Use promo code STN for Sports Empire Network. Get you $20 off your first purchase. It's our way of saying thank you for supporting us. So make sure you go hook that up.
And if you want proof that works, Chase used that code when he went to WrestleMania this year.
I did. I got $20 off and used it to buy beer. So
yep.
It
was a chicken, wasn't it?
No, God. Here's what's so funny about that chicken. There is, and I might have talked to you about this. I don't remember who I was talking to about it, but that chicken was thrown at Roman Reigns, and it laid there in the ring next to Cody, and that's where the things are. But as soon as Roman won, somebody launched that chicken from the crowd and hit Roman in the back with it, and Roman no-sold it. He let it hit him and fall on the ground, and he walked out of the ring. And then the last image was, Cody sitting there with the chicken or whatever. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's what's so funny about, like, because I've seen people on social media like, oh, they didn't believe in Cody so much that fans were throwing the rubber chicken at him. And I was like, nobody threw that rubber chicken at Cody. They were throwing that rubber chicken at Roman. So we've got one special guest this week, and we appreciate him joining. Hunter Dillon, how are you, sir?
Good to be back.
Yeah,
I missed you guys.
Hunter.
Absolutely.
We missed you too.
It's definitely good to be back.
Feel like it's been 195 years since we've last done this.
Last time we did this, Roman Reigns was in NXT.
Exactly, and Cody Rhodes was still working the indies.
There you go.
Anyway, got my skip card ready to go for the night. Oh, wait a minute.
What do you got it for?
Card. This is not a skip card. This is a reverse card. Let me get the right one. There it is.
See, I was going to say, you shouldn't have said anything. I wouldn't have noticed.
See? Now I lost my reverse card. I forgot how to do this. Anyway.
That's how long it's been.
2 skip cards this week. The Acclaim versus JAS. Unnecessary. And obviously what you said was, I agree with. If the Acclaimed lost, they joined JAS. That's stupid. It wasn't even mentioned. It's stupid.
Yes.
The other one, the main event, it was good up until the finish. That was
fair call.
No,
that's fair call. I can give you that on that. Like
that in the opening. Actually, the opening segment wasn't all that good either. As much as I hate saying it, usually we start with we get right into it with the wrestling and stuff. Not this week.
Yeah, we usually get a hot match to start the show, and it is very unusual for AEW to start the show without a hot match. But
Yeah.
in saying that, I think it helped develop the segments for tonight. I'm not sure.
And I
But
don't know.
I found that the show overall was a fun show to watch.
It was. I'll agree.
It wasn't boring. It wasn't super fantastic, and I'll go brag about this to everyone I know. But it was also something that you could have a laugh with certain segments, like the FTR and Jeff Jarrett stuff backstage. That was hilarious.
Yeah, there were a few things that were wrong with this show, but it could have been a lot worse. It was a fun show. It could have been a whole lot worse. I could have just, I don't know, watched a whole couple hours of Cheaters.
Could have, but you didn't. I mean, look, we had you in the Discord. We had Kai in the Discord as well, and Kai normally is too busy playing games, but tonight Kai decided that they would pay attention.
Yes. Although I will say tonight the main not the main event, but the TNT title match between Wardlow and Hobbs was good. Although I will say, as I mentioned in the Discord when we were watching it, it seems like the TNT title has basically turned into a hot potato. And you've talked about that earlier. Just it went from Wardlow to it went from Wardlow to Joe to Darby, back to Joe, back to Wardlow, to Hobbs, and back to Wardlow. I feel like my head's about to spin.
Yeah. And look, it's a hard situation, but I think that Hobbs is they're definitely doing something with Hobbs.
Yeah.
We'll just see from here where it goes. Chase, are you trying to figure things out?
I am. I'm messing with stuff a little bit. Bear with the changes.
I've grown on you guys.
Yeah.
Mega Hunter. Anyway, before I carry on here, I do want to say one thing real quick. I do want to congratulate you, Chase, and Josh on the 1-year anniversary of the hot tag. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate that.
Oh, there we go.
We appreciate that a lot.
There we go. Virtual confetti.
There you go.
Had everything prepared.
And he doesn't have to vacuum
it. Yes, I don't have to vacuum it, unlike the real confetti that I drop on $1 Million winners. Anyway,
there you go.
I just want to say a whole year's worth of hot tag is a big accomplishment. You guys have done so much for Missouri professional wrestling. As a matter of fact, after the show tomorrow night, I might have a little something in store for you and Josh. Raz knows what it is. I ain't saying a thing. And Raz, if you say something, I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna do something.
He doesn't know what.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
I love
All
it.
Right.
But no, Hunter has definitely got something nice planned for you guys after the show tomorrow night. So
fantastic. We are excited. Hunter, what was your favorite part about tonight?
Favorite part, as I mentioned, the TNT title match tonight. Even though the titles turned into a hot potato, that match was hot in itself.
Nice. If you could change one thing about tonight, what would it be?
I would not put that main event on when it did. I would honestly swap the TNT title match in the main event, put the main event on where the TNT title match would be, put the TNT title match, make that the main event.
Nice. All right. Hunter, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on social media, my friend?
Well, you can find me on all of the socials, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, at HunterDillon95 right there. I stream game shows and board games. I just recently got WWE 2K23. And by the way, thank you again, Raz. You are an absolute incredible human being. I've been enjoying the game and made some calls. I may start an eFed down the line. I don't know yet. But I did make a version of the I-70 hot tag belt. It is up on the community creations. If you have the game, you want to download it. Yeah.
Yes,
Um,
yes, it is.
Yeah. So if you want to follow me anywhere, just it's the same thing down here on all the socials. You don't have to because I don't,
No,
never.
follow Hunter. He's a great guy. He's a great person, and his knowledge in video, like old school game shows, is amazing.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
want
Thank
to
you,
know
guys.
anything about a game show, he'll tell you. And if
Pretty
he
much.
doesn't know it, he'll find it out.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Bear with me.
Thank
Bear with me 1 second here. All right, boom. There we go.
Chases off into his own little
Nope.
world.
I wanted to show
there it
this
is.
real quick.
Oh,
There it
there
is.
we go.
There it is.
Now I am
just
missing.
real quick.
I had to make. Hunter, you having the word salad today. I didn't realize that there were 2 extra side plates on that belt, so I was just like, "Oops." I may have to go back and fix that.
I think it
later.
looks. I think it looks pretty dope the way it is. So I have downloaded it. I just haven't. I'm actually working on my Creative Wrestler. Not right now, but I've been taking some time to work on them. So I'm doing
once you're
moves,
done with
interests, and the
your
whole
wrestler, slap that sucker on him. Don't give it away. It's like Ted DiBiase's $1 million chance. No. He gets that belt. It's like Ted DiBiase's $1 million championship. He has that belt. He commissioned that belt. That's his. No one can take it from him, except maybe Josh.
Yeah, except maybe Josh. Definitely
Brian
nobody
J,
on.
baby.
Definitely nobody. Fuck God. Fuck no. Absolutely fucking not.
Brian J. Baby could come and take it.
No, Brian J. Baby would get his orthopedic fucking AARP old ass beat if he wanted to fight for that title.
Oh, shots fired! Someone clip that. Someone needs to clip that. And show
not just that. Not only would Brian J. Baby get put in a wheelchair, but two chumps like Valencia Paz would get put in a wheelchair. And I get to see those two. I get to see those two Pinochas this weekend. And
someone is firing shots.
Yep, I get to see those two Pinochas this weekend in Leavenworth, Kansas, on April 22nd. So
Chase, I didn't know we were at a firing range.
Yeah. Hey, your boy doesn't shoot blanks, brother. Your boy doesn't shoot blanks. Yep.
No, he just drops bombs. That's all.
That's right. Hunter knows. Hunter knows.
Yes, I do.
But yes, it's going to be lots of fun. Hunter, what would be your final rating for tonight?
Well, I'm pretty sure that even though our friend Jacob might give it an 8.5 to a 9.5, I'd probably give it about a 7. Not terrible, but not great. It's obviously not the best, but it's obviously good. At least it kept me away from cheaters for 2 hours.
Yep.
So I can't complain.
It definitely wasn't the best show, but it wasn't the worst. So
who's Trotsky?
Trotsky.
I don't know.
It's a long story.
Okay.
What did I miss? Was that in ABJ's Discord or?
I think it might be.
That's where everybody is ABJ's Discord. So I would assume it's in there.
Yeah.
I'd go 7 as well. Interesting. That's a high rating. You guys know I don't like doing high ratings for weekly shows. I would give this Dynamite a 5.1, 5.2.
Okay, that's respectable.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Hunter.
What are you looking forward to during the week?
What am I looking forward to
during this week?
Honestly, as far as wrestling goes, the only thing I am looking forward to is maybe not. I know it's not this week, but definitely next week. The draft, the WWE draft. I know this is an AEW show, but I'm still looking forward to that. Seeing how they change things up, even though I'm kind of a little leery right now. I am looking forward to the Buff Bagwell interview as far as this is concerned.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking forward to entering that giveaway because I really want to. I know you got to get me out of here, but I just want to show you what I want to replace. I want to replace this thing. This is a $20 toy belt. I want to replace it with something that's a little more legible.
You know what? That's a starter belt.
Yep.
That's a starter
That's
belt.
That's a starter belt. So
anyway,
and if you win this belt, you have to display it when you come on here next time.
I will. You got a deal. You got a deal.
Absolutely. All right, Hunter. Let's drag
me out of here. Drag me out of here kicking and screaming.
Hey.
Have a good night, Hunter.
Hey. Goodbye and good night. Boom. Bang. Put you out of your misery. All right. Appreciate Hunter coming in as always. Looks like Steven
just asked us a question.
Steven did?
Yep.
I responded to something he said, and he was like, now who was that fucking twink who just talked? Oh, interesting. Jade versus Taya next week. Do you guys see title changing hands? No.
No, unfortunately.
And I think unless AEW has something bigger planned, I think that's really stupid to put that match on weekly. So, which brings me to my next conversation. AEW Rampage, which will be on Saturday, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Vikingo will defend the AAA Mega title against Dralistico. FTR, Jay Lethal, and Jeff Jarrett take on Tony Nese, Josh Wood, Ari Daivari, and Slim J.
That was last week.
Interesting.
Looking at last week's.
Julia Hart.
That was last week's.
Oh, wow.
I told you the Dralistico Vikingo match was amazing.
I've got a list pulled up here, and it says Rampage 4/22/23. Interesting. Awesome. Well, then let's talk about Dynamite. Dynamite on 4/26 will be Jade Cargill against Tyra Valkyrie, like we just said. And then Darby Allin will face Sammy Guevara, with the winner facing MJF at Double or Nothing for the AEW Championship. AEW World Championship, whatever. So, Jake Boss, appreciate Jake Boss coming in. Right as we're finishing up, appreciate it. And then next Friday, Rampage will be on before SmackDown. Nice. Yep. Another reason why I don't watch Rampage live is because they can't decide what time slot or what day they're on. So, all right, Scott, you got anything before we close out here?
I do not at this point in time. Just check out my merch at the TeePublic. I think it's TeePublic. Yep. TeePublic. Just check out my merch there. There'll be more designs coming very, very soon. Really appreciate the work of Kai and Hunter for those designs that they have put up there, or that helped me put up there. So anything you do will help out, even if it's just a t-shirt. It helps. Absolutely. We appreciate it. I don't have anything other than, like I said, stay tuned. Yes, you do. You have Buff Bagwell tomorrow. Yeah. Well, we've talked about that twice so far, but again, we do have Buff Bagwell tomorrow on the 1-year anniversary of the I-70 Hot Tag. We have a lot of content coming this weekend, and then we have I have the new Kansas City Chiefs show. If you are an NFL fan, come check it out. It'll be on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Central Time, and then also the Pit Stop on Monday. And then Bad Booking on Sunday nights. So, yeah. And Bad Booking is getting good because we're getting some good takes from those shows. Yes, absolutely. All right. Anything else? Other than that, all that's left to say is good fight. Good night.